So guys, I just finished tufting a rug for the first time. And although I think it looks amazing, it had a lot of errors to it.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Don't feel like I would be proud just leaving it as it is, especially considering we didn't do the most crucial step to the rug making process, which was carving. Carving is that thing that gives handmade rugs that cool 3D effect with the indentations at the grooves. It is the hardest step and the one that takes the most practice to get good at. That's why I designed 6 keyboard-sized rugs for my friends and family so I can practice that carving step. The first design is from my sister. She's been obsessed with this new movie recently called K-Pop Demon Hunters. So I just took the main group's logo and put it on there as her design. Next, we have my brother. Now, we bonded over games, and we both love nerdy stuff. So for his, I chose a Nintendo game controller. And then for mine, I really love Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I just took an Appa design that I saw that I really liked, and I made it fit for my design for rug. The next 3 rugs are going to be for my friends. The first one is really obsessed with Kirby, so I just slapped his face on there and called it a day. The next friend is really obsessed with One Piece, especially Law, which is a really cool character. So I just put his pirate logo on there and called it a day. Next, for the final one, my friend group has been playing through Deltarune recently for the new chapters that just got released. So I just put their logo on there. After you finish the design, it's time to pick out the yarn that you're going to be using, which I use acrylic, and the monk's cloth. After you get the monk's cloth, it's time to put the monk's cloth onto the frame. Now, while applying the monk's cloth to the frame, I did make sure that it was more taut than it was last time, as last time it was a little loose. Now it's time to project your image onto the monk's cloth and trace it with a Sharpie. Alright, after we're finished putting our design on the fabric, it's time to start tufting. Now, I was determined to change these 3 things about tufting that I did last time. Alright, number 1, go slower. I was going way too fast last time, and I ripped a giant hole into the fabric. I am determined not to do that this time. Number 2, change the setting on my gun so that it goes slower and I have more control. Now, number 3, increase the density. Basically, I'm going to move the yarn closer together because I liked it more when I did that in the last rug compared to the beginning, in which it's a little loose in some places. So, keeping those 3 things in mind, it's time to start tufting the 6 rugs that I have planned out. Unlike last time, there was no real major accident. I got through the tufting process really well. Now, in some areas, it was a little square, but that's just because I feel like it was hard to round with the tufting gun, and I feel like that comes with more practice. Now, after finishing tufting, it was time to move on to gluing. Now, for gluing, I used Elmer's glue.
We thought you went crazy.
Yep, guess I'm ugly.
I know. But Elmer's glue wasn't that bad for my last project, and I had some left over, so I figured I would just use it for this one as well. Now, after gluing, you wait 24 hours and then you start to cut out your design. But when I started to cut out my design, I noticed something pretty bad. They were curling. Now, a 10-minute Reddit search had helped me discover that I tufted the rugs too dense, and now they're curling in on itself. I'm putting weight on the rugs now to help flatten them, but it'll take some time to flatten them out completely. While we wait for the rugs to finish flattening, it's time to move on to applying the backing. Now, you do this the same way you did it last time, with hot gluing the edges down, and then you hot glue one of the sides. You apply the felt backing. You use the adhesive spray so there's not a huge air bubble in the middle, and then you hot glue the sides. After applying the backings, it's time to move on to the next step, and the step that is arguably the hardest, and the reason why I'm doing this video: carving into the rug. To start carving, you need tweezers and scissors to separate the borders of the colors that you're going to carve. Then you need to take your shaver at a 45-degree angle and go along the edge of the border, and it will create that nice groove. And as time went on, I got better and better at carving. It was really fun watching my improvement from the first rug that I tried to carve to the last. And I think that it really shows how far you can go with a bunch of practice in this area. The real problem that I had throughout it, though, was that the lines on the keyboard rug kind of was too small to carve really on the 45-degree angle. This was because some of the lines were just like one strand thin of yarn, and I couldn't really carve that how I wanted it. So if anybody has any tips, please leave a comment. Now, I was really stupid and I carved without a mask on, which is a big no-no. Always wear a mask when carving, because those little microfibers will definitely get in your lungs. And after just carving 2 keyboard rugs, my chest hurt for the rest of the day. It was hard breathing, I was coughing, it was terrible. So make sure to always wear a mask when carving. Other than all of that, the carving process really was pretty simple, and I really enjoyed learning and being more comfortable with carving into my work. And I feel like later projects, I'll be way more comfortable doing this than had I not done the 6 designs. And honestly, I think the Appa one looks the best, not just because it was designed for me, but I think that I did a better job carving it as well. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now, before I leave, there's 2 major things that I learned that I will have to avoid next time. 1, make sure that it isn't as dense together, as the yarn this time was way too dense and caused the rugs to curl up. And 2, the carving process takes the longest amount of time. It takes as long, if not more, than the tufting process. So I need to keep that in mind for my next project. All right, and with those in mind, I gotta give out the keyboard rugs to my friends and family. All right, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.